Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the 83rd episode of Abyssal Musings. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and with me is my co-host, partner, Lawrence Knight.
What's up?
And joining us tonight, we also have Caucasian Sasquatch. We were supposed to have Shadu, but real life gets in the way, so we're going to mock him mercilessly for that later.
No, it's past his bedtime.
That's literally what happened. He was told he had to go to bed.
Who told him he had to go to bed?
I think his parents.
His mommy.
Yeah.
True story, bro.
But he was supposed to be here, and he is sorry that he's missing out. He also won't be here tomorrow for the 100th episode of Void for similar reasons. He's got work and all that stuff, so we will miss him for that. But we are going to mock him mercilessly while he's not here to defend himself at various points. So, because we do be like that. Meanwhile, we have a show tonight. Larry's got quite the plan for us. And before we get into that, we'll say hello to the chat because, that's how we do. All right, Lawrence Knight first. I could have sworn Kohai came in and said second at some point, but I don't see it on here.
Yeah,
it was on the YouTube side.
No. Lawrence comes in and deletes everyone else's messages.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I was legit first.
I've been onto you for months.
I have not been doing that.
We can tell, dude. We can tell.
We also have up here on the panel with us and also in the chat, Caucasian Sasquatch. We are streaming currently live to YouTube, Twitter, and Rumble, both on Caucasian Sasquatch's end and my own. So you can.
Yeah, if I've got to be subjected to this madness, so do you.
Right. Legion Talk is in chat. Hello, my man. We have Vor Axelon with us.
Hold on. This is special.
Vor, we're at the same time every fucking week, man.
Hey,
give or take a couple of minutes.
Don't fuss. It's okay. You can keep watching me. I don't mind. Just me and you, buddy. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
All right, go ahead.
We can make it if we try. Sorry.
It's out of my system. Done.
We've got Kohai with us tonight. Howdy. Good to see you.
Hey, M's in the chat.
Suka. Yep. We'll get there. Suka Nuka is with us. I see Princess OPD of Ogden, Utah. It's a bit of a mouthful, but welcome. Village. As always, a pleasure, my man. Andy Pickle. Andy and I, we're on the outs right now. And I got to say this. I got to put this out there. The man puts Miracle Whip on his fucking sandwiches, so we can't be friends anymore.
I thought you did that too.
Oh, no Miracle Whip, no mayonnaise. That shit's for the French and people who hate their taste buds.
I thought it was for white people. Honey, I've been eating wrong.
So, I'm just kidding, Andy. Good to see you. Rest of M's Mad World fires the entire squad because the X.
I don't know, man. She had a minute.
That's
a moment.
That's also a mouthful, but it is good to see you.
I am. Welcome to chat. Good to see you.
Yep. Aaron Laura's with us tonight, as always. We have Jacob Gallo. Good to see you. Yep. We got Ryan, Legion Games, who is also Legion Talk, who was earlier on there. He's got like 4 channels. Go check him out. He does a lot of stuff. And I think that catches us up to everybody who's currently in chat at the moment. So I've eaten mayo on hot dogs. That is, it's
Charles.
Yes.
Mayonnaise
I can't do it. No, I didn't say Miracle Whip was mayonnaise. I said they're both gross.
I made this for you, bud. Just for you, Ryan. This is all for you, bud.
I see Richard L's popped in. Good to see you, my man. You're right. It's terrible stuff. The only condiment, if you're gonna put condiments on a sandwich of any kind, the only condiment that belongs on it is ketchup, as far as I'm concerned. Yes. Maybe a little bit of mustard, maybe if you're into that kind of thing.
I'm gonna cut in just real quick before we get to all of this. I want everybody to take a look at our spatial avatar, so to speak. Sam, you've got Eldritch Horror Extraordinaire that I believe you've had that under there for what, 2 years, roughly?
Yeah.
Caucasian Sasquatch, he's got. Okay, well, we're not going to go there.
I'll say the cracker with the hard R.
But I want you guys, all of you in the chat, everywhere, I want you guys to focus in on right here and why this says the way it is. Somebody in the chat was having problems about a week or two ago, and there was a comment that was made about YouTube deleting their comments, and this was after they violated a truce, so to speak. With that said, it was me, Richard. It was me all along. I'm the one that deleted your stuff, not YouTube. I deleted your comments.
You're like that one chick from Scarlet Witch in the Vision.
We've got to work on your nefarious laughter. It
was well worth it.
Yeah,
I left it alone. I had a new target. Andy Pickle started running his mouth. I was gonna dry him up and make a cucumber back out of it. Take all the pickle juice, everything, and donate it. But Richard had to start running his mouth again.
Somebody please clip that he's gonna take all the pickle juice.
And I'm gonna hand it to you, Sasquatch.
I want to hear that in a short by tomorrow morning stat immediately.
But the most important part of it is I left it alone. But he had to start running his mouth again. I'm first. Sasquatch, he goes onto the world famous Exile Lioness 2 channel and spams 7 comments just to tell me to eat it. So I'm like, oh, okay, so we're back to doing that again.
That's terrible. I don't know if there was. Oh yeah. Okay, so there was more to that. I think you cut out for a minute there, brother.
No, Andy. He wants your juices.
Ugh. No, I don't want his juices. I
heard you specifically say you would take his juices.
You're forgetting
I will cherish that line for the rest of eternity. I'm clipping it currently.
I will gladly take Andy's pickle juice and donate it to you. You can have every bit of it, drop by drop. It doesn't matter to me.
Keep digging, buddy. Keep digging.
Oh no, I'm fine. I have no problem with what I said because I put it in the proper context. I was going to leave Richard alone, but he went onto somebody else's channel. Hold on. He went onto somebody else's channel and spammed 7 comments telling me to eat him. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Before we get too much further, I should probably mention so Vor Axelon was with us for a little bit, but he is going to bed. Good to see you, my man. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time. There's a line. This is gonna go really, really bad. I think.
It would have been fine if Sasquatch hadn't made the comments he made.
But I'm gonna make more. It's gonna get worse. Wrong button.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, Richard. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Sam doesn't because Sam wasn't around when I deleted your comments. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Suka on this. What the fuck?
You guys weren't around.
I don't know.
Suka doesn't need to worry about it.
I'm happy to have you here, Richard.
I kind of wish I had that clip of Palpatine screaming "unlimited power" right now.
Yeah, I don't have anything like that. In fact, I don't know what I do have anymore. Not a lot. No, I trimmed down on a lot of my like clips and overlays and such.
Yeah, I've recently been bulking mine up. I've went and clipped a whole bunch of crap over the past couple of years that I never actually used. And so I've gone in and tried
You've
to
been storing up
use
crap?
some stuff.
You've been storing up crap?
Well, I mean, you know, clips.
You said crap. You said
Yeah,
clips and crap.
it's crap. It's crap. It's non-tent. It doesn't exist until it's used for something, right? So I know that I'm going to use the different quotes
You're the
from.
dumb butt. This is exactly what I just said a few minutes ago. This is exactly what I just said a few minutes ago. See, okay, Richard, it's on. All right,
Let it go.
okay. No, no.
I don't have to let it go. I don't have an issue here.
Rumor
But there
has
is somebody.
it
But there is
still out
somebody
there
that you don't like.
to this day.
There's somebody you don't like. See, folks, you see how most co-hosts will have your back. You see how Sam treats me, but what you guys don't know is that there is somebody on the internet that he absolutely hates with a passion. You think I'm pissed? I've seen him blow up backstage behind this one person.
Yes.
That's all I'm
Never
gonna say.
happened.
Now, back to our regularly scheduled program. Mr. Sasquatch, thank you for coming to the show. And before you came on, before we went live, you said that you had something to show us.
Oh no,
No.
it's just some chick going absolutely nuts about a boyfriend. I think it would be funny if we run into a dead part of the show, but you've managed to manage this very well so far, I think.
Okay.
Let's do your thing.
Okay. You sure you don't want to show it?
No, it's basically in the event that we have an absolute crash of internet stuff, I've got a thing that won't get you struck and won't get any claims. It is immaterial otherwise.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we'll roll on then.
Call that Plan B.
So, a little. Normally, I don't put too much out, but for those of you who believe in a higher power, I have two sisters. If you can kindly pray for one of them, I'm not gonna put her name out on blast, but I just found out about an hour ago that one of my sisters has been missing for a week in California. Nobody knows where she is. She is heavily addicted to drugs. I'm also just now finding that out today, just how bad it is. And she was in an abusive relationship, and the boyfriend is swearing up and down that he doesn't know where she is. So, those of you who believe in someone, I also found out that a very, very dear friend of mine is like my brother. I've literally known the man since the day I was born and came up from the hospital. I've been trying to reach him all week. He finally texted me maybe about 20 minutes after I found out about my sister. He had a stroke. He's in a hospital. So today has been a day. So those of you, if you can find it in your heart to pray for these people, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Definitely not trying to bring the show down.
I can do a quick Southern Baptist communion if you'd like. I'm not all that religious, but I fake it real well.
I appreciate it. But yeah, all of your, I appreciate it. Unless your name is Richard L. Anyway, with that said, why am I singing? So let's start off with some infamous news, shall we? You guys cool with that?
Yeah.
You got about 4 articles, right? So, as you guys know, I got a wife and kids. I got to fly out shortly, and pick them up. This is one of the things that my wife is concerned about. And I came across this earlier today.
Thank you, Lucas.
And thank you, Lou. I could believe it when I saw this, but apparently this little boy refused to buckle his seat, and it got to the point where the passengers was trying to kick him off the plane. They're telling him to get off the plane. So let's see. Okay. Kill the music. So apparently this little boy, I guess Dennis the Menace decided to get on a plane and go somewhere, but Colombian passengers chanted to boot him off. So I don't see the kid just yet. I don't know where he's at. I'm guessing. Yeah, so there was a delay. Wow, the man carrying the boy. So it's that little boy right there. Incapable father, spoiled kid. Now these are. I've never been in this situation before. The last time I was, well, the kids weren't with me when I flew out to where I'm at now. But prior to my latest trip, my kids weren't even born yet the last time I've been on the plane. But that's definitely a fear that my wife had. And what in the world happened? Okay.
Looks like an ad.
Yeah, the ad just booted right as soon as I tried to escape. But yeah, he was 10 years old. He looked younger than that. But he was 10 years old, and they tossed him from the airplane. So he was booted.
All right, hold on. I want to clarify something. They did not throw the child from the flying plane. They removed the family with the child by force.
They got Clarence Boddicker running interference for the stewardesses. It was like, "Can you fly, Bobby?"
No, Clarence, don't do it. open the gate. Open the doors.
For the record, YouTube, that was a joke. I am in no way advocating throwing children out of airplanes.
Yeetus fetus.
So, but yeah, apparently,
It's just a very late stage abortion.
So the boy wasn't listening to anybody, his parents, anybody. Now we are waiting for passengers who do not comply with the regulation to please disembark. The captain was eventually forced to vacate the runway and return to the gate. Oh man, I know them passengers was pissed. They were probably ready to kill that boy. They call him the horrid little hellion. The situation stretched out over a full hour before security arrived to help remove the pipe signs. And the dad wasn't doing anything about it. Yeah. My son won't be doing that because we're taking a red eye, and I know his sleep patterns. He'll be good and knocked out, and that's one thing about my son. Is when he's out, he's out.
Just stick him in a carry-on luggage. It'll be fine.
But yeah, that's crazy, man.
I mean, my youngest is in that age range, and even then, that wouldn't be a problem. She was a good kid. She'd do what she was told.
Now,
some of that's because we got lucky as parents, and some of that's because of me. Really, it's not her mom.
I would suspect that your child is not an idiot, and that might account for part of this.
Mm-hmm. It's funny when kids are real little. In certain districts, you have to do this whole kind of aptitude test when they turn like 2 or 3 years old. That's mandated by the county or whatever,
right?
At least out where I live, and they had so much trouble getting her to like stack the blocks or put the pegs in the holes or draw on the picture books or whatever, because she figured out what they were up to right away. And like her father before her, she was goddamned if she was going to do what they said.
She tilted the game.
Yeah. And so they came at us like, we think she might have some cognitive abilities. I was like, no, she was fucking with you.
Listen to this one. So we had to do those tests when I was growing up, and I'm not quite as sharp as some people on certain aspects, and I didn't realize what they were doing at first. I really enjoy taking tests. I always have. I'm really, really good at them, and I love to take them. Okay, fine, whatever, right? As a byproduct of enjoying taking tests, I test exceptionally well. I'm a moron, but I test amazingly well. For
That's how I got
some
through high
things,
school.
I just enjoy that crap, right? So by the time I hit about, I don't know, 5th grade, they had me lined up for all this super hard stuff to do. And I looked over at my counselor. I actually walked out of class one day because I was looking at trigonometry problems and I realized I'm in like 4th grade. And I just left. Went and told the counselor I wasn't doing it no more. And I had to stick to it for about 2 weeks, but they eventually took me out of that and put me in some remedial stuff where I got to sit around and chew bubble gum and read books.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Just goes to show the experts don't always know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah. Speaking with that, well, speaking of the not knowing what the hell they're talking about. Now, this topic is a guess. It's nothing crazy, but what they're saying is a lot of marine scientists, they suspect that that there's a gang war brewing between sharks and orcas because apparently sharks are going into areas where orcas are, and in some cases, the let's just say in one particular instance, a tiger shark went missing and washed up on the shore, and they're not sure whether or not the orcas that he ran into had anything to do with about it, had anything to do with it. So let's see.
I've heard a little about this myself.
You know, but I have to wonder this too, though. I think I think that these scientists are just now catching on to something that's probably been going on for who knows how long. I mean,
I don't think
I
so,
don't,
man. The orcas have been changing their behavior in the last 20 years. They've been going after people too, unprovoked.
Oats.
They've been this whole thing with sharks. This is less a turf war than it is a massacre because it's pretty fucking one-sided. The orcas are hunting down and killing sharks, particularly great whites, for their livers and just leaving the corpses to float. And they've been doing it like this is several different pods in different parts of the world. They're hunting them down and they're going after fishing boats and destroying them. They're attacking people. And this is all relatively new behavior for them, given that, they've been in the same waters as fishermen for thousands of years.
Consider this. The last verified case of a whale attacking a boat was written about in Moby Dick.
right?
After that, there is not another case of a boat actually sustaining damage due to a whale attacking it until you get into like small sailing vessels and stuff in the early 20s.
Yeah.
And in those cases,
orcas
it's
are
whether they
dolphins,
hit
but
the
yeah.
whale or the whale hit them. We don't know.
They're not called killer whales for nothing, though. I mean, yeah, and they are dolphins, and dolphins and dolphins in general have a pretty good track record of defending themselves against sharks. But no, I agree with what you said. I mean, it's not. I still think that they are just not catching on to something that's probably been going on for a while. There's a lot going on out there in that ocean.
Sure. And there's more that happens under the waves than we will ever know about. That's true.
Well, then we will ever know about
Of
whatever
course, I
you
cut
got
off.
going on to yourself.
Of course, I cut out right when I'm making my point. No, what I was saying is, I still think that it's been going on a lot longer than people are catching on. That ocean is huge, and there's a lot going on out there that we don't know about. But I do agree. A lot. I mean, they have become increasingly aggressive over the last 20 years. I mean, like you said, hunting people down and just doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and this is it's like Aaron or brings up this point. Don't they also hunt for fun? It is very unique. It's not a thing that's common in most animal species. Uh, like I think there's only a handful of species that engage in certain practices, one of which being war, revenge, like these kinds of things. Like elephants, for example, will engage in revenge. Uh, Chimpanzees and ants both engage in war, right? And chimps also engage in murder and other horrific things. Chimps are really fucked up.
Chips are
Yeah.
twisted. Look up
You know,
Travis the Chimp if you don't believe me. Y'all check out Travis the Chimp, and chimps are horrible.
yeah. So, but yeah, as far as the orcas doing this kind of thing, like this is the sort of thing that, you know, people would have written down prior to this. This is a relatively recent phenomenon. I'm not saying they've never been dangerous. I'm just saying that it was never this frequent. This is like the frequency of incidents like this have increased in the last 10 to 20 years.
Oh no, I agree with
there,
you.
yeah, there is something going on with the orcas, and the problem with them is because they're not true whales; they're dolphins, right?
Right.
Dolphins are also super fucked up. Even bottlenose will engage in, like, you know, murdering other animals without consuming them.
I got it.
Among other things, I say murder. They also do the hard, you know, R word.
Yes. Bottlenose dolphins will find a group of males will find a female out in the open ocean, and they will go and terrorize the female, preventing her from surfacing until she runs out of breath. When she finally does, which is quite a long time later, they take turns pushing her down until she can't resist anymore, so they can have their way with her and leave.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
No BS. The really hard R, as it were.
And it's usually the more intelligent animals that engage in behavior like this. You know, dolphins are not stupid animals.
No, they're
Orcas
not.
are not stupid animals. I mean, even with the revenge thing and elephants are probably one of the more intelligent land animals. You know, they got this thing called emotional intelligence, which I don't totally buy, but in it, if you were to apply it only to pachyderms, I would get it. But they experience emotions on almost as wide a scale as humans do, if not on the same level. And like, there's stories about poachers taking out one, right, harvesting the ivory, and their relatives will remember this poacher's face, and they will track him across the fucking Sahara, find his village, and wipe out the place in revenge.
And there's not a whole lot you can do when a 14-ton bulldozer shows up really angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can run. You can try to run, but they're fast too.
They aren't slow.
No,
Leave.
they're not.
While they're messing up somebody else, you leave. You don't have to run faster than the slowest guy.
They don't turn or slow down so good once they get going, but yeah,
They're like the juggernaut, man. And yeah, go ahead and hide behind trees if you want to. They'll take the trees down with you, you along with them.
Yep.
Elephants have a lot of things that you might consider at least that are definitely at least ritualistic if they're not downright religious. For instance, a particular group of elephants,
civilized.
They will go to the same area that a loved one, that a previous ancestor died, that the group remembers, and they'll go to that location and dig around in the dirt where the body laid. And if there are any bones left, they'll go and pick up some of the bones, and some of the elephants, I say people, some of the elephants will carry some of the bones with them to other places so that they don't have to come so far this way to come to this place. And if that's not at least ritualistic, it's real close to religion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, Bush. Yeah, they exhibit a lot of behaviors that are shockingly, if not human, then at least approach what we would consider civilized behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but yeah. It's a thing. Like, you know, with the higher primates, with elephants, pachyderms in general, but specifically elephants in particular, with you know, orcas, you know, they're and dolphins, bottlenose, and what have you. I don't know all the names of the species of dolphins. I was never a fan of flipper, but they exhibit behaviors that typically are associated only with human beings. It's actually very rare for an animal who's not human to exhibit certain behaviors like that. And I mean, even to a lesser extent, dogs and cats will do certain things, but they're on a lower order, if you ask me. And it's strange. And it's so like when we're seeing stuff like this, it's almost like, because it's not every orca in the world going out and doing shit like this, right?
Mhm.
It's almost like, because there was a particular pair of orcas that were going around, I think the coast of Norway, and like wiping out, great whites. They were cutting out their livers with their teeth, and only their livers, and consuming those and leaving the rest of the thing. Now, on the one hand, yeah, fish liver has a lot of great properties in it, and that's probably something that they needed and all that stuff. But they were doing it in a way that was extremely methodical and brutal, and they were exhibiting behaviors that was, I mean, if I didn't know better, it's kind of serial killer like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
Wait, hold on. Are you suggesting that a couple of emo orcas got real tense and anxious and taught their children to attack people later on?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we could just like give
Well,
them
they
some
do
names
look
or something.
emo
But
as
yeah,
hell. I don't doubt it.
yeah, something like that. I don't know. Maybe they just got a taste for killing, and they're just like, hey, we should do this more often and all that stuff. 'Cause, I mean, they're natural predators, right? They're one of the only animals in the ocean that doesn't really have a natural predator itself because they're so dangerous. And anything that could be a natural predator to them, aside from man,
Dude,
it lives too
these
deep.
bears,
Yeah.
they actively hunt polar bears. Hands down,
Yeah.
probably the most dangerous land mammal north of the Mason-Dixon.
Yep. And they just, I don't know. So they don't have, like, sperm whales could probably pose a danger to them. Or even giant squid, but most of the time sperm whales and giant squid live in a much lower uh part of the ocean. They don't come up that often. I mean, sperm whales have to come up for oxygen, obviously they're mammals, but generally speaking, they spend a lot of time much deeper down. And the other thing is that sperm whales don't generally, they tend to be territorial and solitary, except when it comes to mating season. um that's super fucked up too, actually. But orcas hunt in pairs or in pods. They hunt as a unit, and so it's conceivable that they could take down a sperm whale, which is, I mean, those things are pretty fucking big and they're vicious. You know?
Terrifying.
I'm just kind of, yeah. So, and these are the mammals of the sea. Who knows what else is down there?
And that's why I keep my butt out of the ocean. For
The
those of you
ocean.
who like to go deep sea snorkeling and all that stuff, you have at it,
I do.
because enjoy it.
I do.
I will pray for your safe return.
Good deal.
With that said, next article. Car insurance is very, very important now. Not just because you have to have it in case there's an accident, but in this case, a lady is suing Geico. Woman demands Geico pay her $1 million after she gets an STD in her partner's car. By the way, if you're under 18, you shouldn't be watching this. Viewer discretion is advised.
So how is this is all right. So this is like trying to sue the bullet manufacturer for someone's death. This is like trying to sue a comforter for a baby that got conceived under it. This is right up there with the hot coffee. I mean, you don't why do you need a label telling you it's hot?
I don't understand. No, I get what you're saying. I mean, and I agree. In what world does she think? Does this woman think that she's gonna get anything? You made the
How?
choice. But I'm saying, what did
How?
she say? What?
How did she get the STD? That's the
By having
important part.
sex in a
Like, by
car.
having sex in the freaking car.
Did- did- did-
But
then
Geico
she's
didn't
got
make
no.
the car.
No, they're an insurance company. Like, why would she go out? This None of this makes any sense.
Well, actually, it does, because you know why? here's one thing that she's suing the wrong person. Here's why. There's a radio station I listen to every morning when I go to work, right? And this
Collision.
guy comes on and like
Collision.
they would have people call in and tell everybody something that people don't know. This guy calls in, he's a car salesman. And they said, okay, what do you don't know? He said, a lot of people don't know that when you go and buy a brand new car, chances are the salespeople have had sex in that car. He said it happens all the time. And people will he said he has seen coworkers go have sex, get out of the car, and less than an hour later, somebody had just bought it and drove off the lot, not knowing that two people were just butt naked in the back seat going at it.
Yeah, but even then, like,
why are you suing Geico?
wait, is she licking the seats?
You're doing lines of like human effluent back in the back.
If she's naked, if she's naked and rubbing up against something, or she touches something with her hand and then touches herself in the act, I mean,
right?
I was thinking
right.
that kind of environment is not hard.
People do all kinds of depraved shit in cars with people with
God clause. She deserves it.
I don't understand why she thinks she can sue the insurance company over this though. Like that is clearly the dumbest thing that she could possibly do, because there's no fucking way they're not liable for that. They can't be liable for that. You know, insurance companies don't usually insure you against catching an STD in the car, and odds are she probably got it from the guy she was with and not from the seat or something. Although I'm sure it. I mean, we could read the thing. It probably says it.
Well, here it is. Here it is. And check this out,
dude.
Hold on. Here's the messed up part. Here's the messed up part. They protected her name, but they outed her boyfriend. They outed him, but they don't say her name.
No, I'm telling you, man, what happened was he's standing there swearing on a stack of Bibles it couldn't possibly have been him and trying to blame her for it. But at the same time, she knows it wasn't her, except it probably was. And so she is willing to drag every part of her life through the mud so that it wasn't him or her that gave them the clap.
Well, what she's saying, what she got HPV, and she's claiming that the guy, Martin Bronner, that he had it and he was aware that he had it, but didn't tell her before they had unprotected sex in his 2014 Hyundai Genesis. Now, HPV, who's to say who she doesn't know? She might have picked that up.
Does she own a cat? Does she own a cat?
I don't know.
That would be my first question as a lawyer.
But I mean, I doubt that she picked that up from that guy. I think she already had it. She probably just gave it to him. But she filed back in February. She filed a $1 million claim against the guy and his insurer, Geico, claiming she should be compensated for bodily injury under the car's.
You tried again, bud. You just roboted out.
After decades of people getting busy in the back seat, that's a stretch back, though.
You roboted out pretty bad there.
Yeah, we lost the last 30 seconds of you talking.
Oh boy, what was the last thing you heard?
You started the sentence and then it came in at the last part of the sentence where you said like "good luck" or whatever. But yeah, there was the whole middle section was just silent.
Oh, what I said was she's saying that Geico refused to pay out, and they were saying that they refused to pay the claim, arguing that the injury did not occur in the normal use of the automobile. And what I'm saying is, after decades of people getting busy in the back seat, that's probably in some circles they would consider that a bit of a stretch on Geico's part. But I still agree with Geico, and I'm glad they didn't pay it out.
Yeah.
And they won.
Yeah. This woman's an idiot.
So it says, upon review of the parties' arguments, the court finds that the consensual sexual relations inside a car do not constitute a use of the automobile within the meaning of the subject policy. In other words, the insurance doesn't cover getting sex in the car.
So is this her boyfriend? Is this a longtime partner, or is this somebody that she just hooked up with the one time?
It doesn't really say.
Because that matters too. Like, you know, if he was just somebody she met the once, I could see maybe, you know, this happening. But if he's been with her for a while and she just caught this, you know, either she's cheating on him or he's cheating on her, and either way, Geico's not liable.
Well, it says they hooked up at least once.
Observation.
It says they hooked up at least once in 2017. She filed this lawsuit in February of this year. February what? 2021. So years after she allegedly caught it from this guy. At that point, how can you be sure it was even him that gave it to you?
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like,
Right.
like she has no idea where this came from. She's just blaming it on that because that's the last time she remembers having sex, which also, by the way, either means that she doesn't get it very often, or she gets it so often she doesn't actually remember everything every time.
Exactly. And she's like, I gotta pick somebody. I'll pick him.
Yeah. I've known women who have gone after dudes for child support because they happen to be the last guy that they actually remember having sex with, even if it wasn't him, you know, whose child it was.
Dude, I saw a news report of a guy who got garnished for child support. He was married, and it was a stripper that did it. And she went down to the courthouse, took out a old phone book, or I guess they still have them in Detroit, and opened it up and picked that guy's name at random and said that he was the father. And the state, they took her word for it and then went after him. Didn't even contact him and ask him if he even knew who she was.
Yeah. Real quick, I gotta address something. Boosh. Currently, no, it doesn't look like there are any mods in chat. Most of my mods are asleep by now. They don't usually stick around, but they are. Yeah, you're saying YT's holding your comments. Yeah, it's not us. It's not us doing it. My mods do not remove people's comments. They're just there to make sure that well, they're there to do my bidding, really, but my rules are really loose, so but it's not us. So if YT's holding your stuff, then yeah, I don't know. I hate to tell you to reword stuff because I fucking hate that, doing that myself, but
yeah, he said YouTube was.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can do that. Just a second.
I can see. I see him on the chat on my end on YouTube.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I can do something about that. But yeah, generally speaking, my mods are pretty sleepy right now.
You're in the top chat, Boosh. At least not the live comments are being stopped. If it's comments on videos, don't know what to tell you. That's YouTube and their glorious AI overlords.
And of course, at least your internet signal isn't going in and out. I don't know what's going on tonight. It keeps going out, and I'm hoping that it straightens itself out, because after this, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a quiz tonight. Right after this last article. And Sasquatch, you'll like this next one. Unfortunate sex mishap on first date leaves porn star in hospital for 2 days. Want to take a wild guess as to what happened to her?
She tried to take Cockzilla and Broadzilla. Tell me I didn't guess it. I have not seen that article. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I guarantee you this involved two very large fellows.
Either that or it involves a bad dragon or Rambone.
It doesn't involve well, actually, I mean, you could say that it involves one guy and an artificial body part.
Okay.
That would normally be attached to a guy.
Yeah,
What's up,
see,
Gary?
see. That artificial body part probably has a brand name.
Yeah,
It
like I said,
does.
Bad Dragon.
And apparently, because she is a professional, right?
Call back.
A certain railgun. Yes, exactly. But
Hey, Wookie, good to see you.
but yeah, she's a professional, and so what happened was they
Not
took
anymore.
they were using a toy, and at some point, here it is. Their fun was short lived after a sex toy they were using disappeared, resulting in the 32-year-old being admitted into the hospital, later undergoing emergency surgery because I guess she had, it was their first date. Of course, she had to sleep with a guy. It's their first date. She has since issued a warning to others, stating she has no idea how she had no idea how much trouble using an adult product could create. We decided to use an anal plug during sex when all of a sudden it felt like it had fallen out of me. But what had actually happened was her anal passageway sucked it all the way into her. It was inside her. She was
Backstop
looking
is
for it.
That's what the backstop is for. The only reason that happens is because she's already fucking prolapsed.
Blowed out, son. They have blown that chick out.
That's the only way it's possible.
Yep.
Did she stop the scene? I'm just curious. Is she a professional or a professional?
It wasn't a scene. This was a legit date.
She's an escort. Yeah, no,
she's a straight up porn star, but she was on a real date with a guy, and they was using a butt plug, and her butthole sucked the butt plug, like the ocean bringing the current back in. It probably pulling the current out. It sucked it into her, and she was looking. They were looking for it, looking off the side of the bed, and she didn't realize it had sucked. Her body had sucked it inside of her.
Dude, I'm telling you, the only way that happens is if she's got pink sock already.
I agree. For her not to know.
Yes, Suka, this is disgusting.
You know, anytime she walks in the breeze, you hear.
Oh man,
she has a weak fart and it goes. Whoo.
It's like, so some of you guys in the chat might remember about a year ago, we did a show that involved a man and an MRI machine and a what he thought was a silicone butt plug, but what turned out to have a steel core. If you don't know what an MRI machine is, it's basically a giant super magnet. So what it did was it pulled the butt plug that he had inserted from his anal cavity all the way through his midsection into his chest cavity like a railgun, because as you know, a railgun is essentially a magnetically propelled it essentially fires magnetically propelled projectiles, right?
Yes.
Magnetically accelerated. And so this is kind of like that, except she apparently had been so worn out, you know, that she didn't even require the MRI.
It fell in. Say it, dude. Say it with me.
He didn't even realize it.
It fell in.
It fell in.
You feel better now, don't you?
And to make it even worse, not to even make it even worse, she didn't even realize that it fell in. The guy didn't even notice. They're looking around the bed for it.
that was what I was going to say a minute ago. I was going to ask whether or not they stopped. Because I doubt it. I have a doubt there. I think she's a professional and she let him finish, and then they worried about it.
Carrie, you don't have to worry. None of that actually came out. So I think she's a professional. So she made sure she was clean through there. But
there's only so much cleaning you can do, man. There's always a little bit.
And I've got one last thing to say about the railgun penetration.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, check this out. She had to wait 2 days. She had to wait 2 days to get it out.
That poor girl. Like, so I'm gonna just put this out there on the internet for all to hear, right? Whatever your kinks are, whatever. I don't care that much, but maybe don't do something to the excess where you end up permanently damaging yourself and something like this happens. It's not worth it. It isn't.
Yeah.
Just maybe just stay away from butt play. I know there's people who like that sort of thing, but you're gonna end up in a position like this sooner or later. Like, so there's this other story. Years ago, one of my sisters was married to a dude, and this dude wanted to have anal sex with her husband. And she said to him, "I'll let you do it to me if I can do it to you first." Right? So, and she was serious when she said this. She's just like, "No, I don't want you to do that." So, I gotta, peg you with the biggest strap on I can find, and then we'll talk. But so she comes home one day because he had called her, and he's like, "You need to come home right now." So she comes home, and she finds him in the bathroom with a pair of bloody needle nose pliers and his pants around his ankles, because apparently he had decided he was going to go for it, but he really needed to work up to it. So he'd put like this little like rabbit bullet, kind of vibrator. It inserted that, but the whole suction thing happened. It ended up further in than it should have because he didn't have a backstop on it, because that's what that's for. It's to prevent that from happening. So he was trying to dig this little vibrator out of his asshole, out of his colon, really. It was that deep in, with a pair of needle nose pliers. She ended up taking him to the hospital. They had to have it surgically removed. It was a whole thing. Don't do this sort of thing, folks. Not worth the trouble.
That surgeon was laughing at him the whole time. The nurse.
No, the whole town was laughing at him. We all know about it.
Dude, what you don't realize.
Fun fact, he's gay now. They're divorced, but he's gay.
It's not a choice.
It turns out.
So, did you know that there are at least a dozen people a year that are admitted to the ER for light bulbs?
What?
Yes, I did.
Yes,
I did, and it's because because of the way that the dynamics of suction work, you can actually insert those things without breaking them. But the second your colon contracts, you end up with glass all through your rectum.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Don't do that either, folks.
Yeah, do not try this at home.
Forget that, man. But yeah, and going back to this girl, the hospital, just before they were gonna do the surgery, it would only take 5 minutes. They got so busy, they had her sitting in that bed for 2 days. So she had to sit there with that. That's how far up it was.
Oh, that's like halfway up the fucking large intestine, man.
You'd know.
Ouch,
Mr. Tentacles.
Oh, that's pretty deep in, man. That's not.
Look, bro, you can't lie to me. I have been administered by your delicate menstruations. Listen, deep.
It's different with tentacles. I can just pull those out.
Hey, you know what? Look, you see that circle right there? I'm wondering if that's the backstop right here.
It is. It is.
And advice.
That's why you have those, is to prevent that. But like I said, the only way this happens is if she is so blown out that her rectum is actually, gaping larger than the backstop, which I suspect it is, if she does what you said for a living.
And the article says she does.
Oh man, yeah.
She really wanted to impress him.
Can you imagine that first poop after she got home, though?
I mean,
I don't even want to think about it.
She's gonna be nice and empty.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think she made it home before that first poop happened. It probably happened as soon as the doctor got it out.
They probably removed that along with it, to be honest. I mean, you look at how dark her large intestine is on that thing. That's not normal.
No, they had to yell back blast area clear before they pulled it.
Oh my God.
I think he probably flew out of her.
Did you guys ever see Zach and Mary make a porno?
No.
So there's this scene where this guy's filming two people fucking, and so he's doing it. He's lying on the ground and he's got the camera aimed up because they're doing anal just above him, and the man, gets startled by something off set, and he pulls out real fast, and the cameraman, to use the character's own words a moment later, gets frosted like a cake. It's so fucking gross.
Wow. All right, folks. All righty.
Richard, you might be right. Don't put stuff in your butt. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and Sasquatch is right. Look at all that.
Yeah,
that is not normal.
That is not normal. Also, she should probably have her liver checked out. She's got a couple of growths on that side as well.
Yeah. Well, and if you'll notice too, it's in there sideways.
Yeah. It fell in, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But hey, did you know if you go to the beach and you're walking along and you see a blonde walking along and you pick her up, stick her to your ear, you can hear her scream?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's worse, man. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't have the answers to those, Cavitano, and I'm not looking for them. That's not gonna happen.
You know they recorded it though, right? They waited before the surgery and after the surgery, so we would know.
I'm so glad my mom doesn't watch my shit anymore.
I'm actually sad about that. I wish she
I'm not.
Then again, I don't want her yelling at me.
Don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure my dad does, which terrifies me, man. Apparently, he watches everything I do and has never mentioned my channel to me once in 4 years I've run it.
Yeah. I mean,
all righty.
May he be proud.
I hope so, man. I don't know what to tell you. It never crossed my mind that he'd find my channel. I never mentioned to him once either, which might be why he hasn't mentioned it to me.
All right, so I'm gonna pretend that I didn't see any of the stuff that you're posting. By the way, what you said at 36 minutes into your show on Tuesday was interesting. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Like, if you're gonna do it to me, do it. And don't pull out.
Tonight's quiz. Tonight's Sporkle quiz.
Remember to exhale as it goes in.
Can I, Sam?
Relax.
Thank you. Tonight's quiz is a bag of randoms of sorts. You got 20 questions for 25 minutes. Chat, as usual, you guys are always welcome to participate. No cheating, Kohai. Actually, I don't think he's watching right now. I don't even think Coach Kohai is watching right now, so everybody's probably got a good shot. I don't know what it is about Sporkle quizzes, but that lady, that woman, and her 98% accuracy is alarming. Anyway,
she did really well.
Here we
college
go.
Too.
3, 2.
Wait, did he like robot out, or is this happening?
I am glad I waited. I knew that was going to happen.
I'm glad
I didn't even start it. I was not even surprised because I knew, because it had gone so long without happening. So now we can go. You guys ready?
Yeah. Yes, I'm sure.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. This alcoholic beverage actually exists. To make it, you need kakaka, whatever it's called, pisco, mango, pomegranate syrup, lemon, mezcal, and what final ingredient? Is it A, tarantula venom, B, fecal matter, C, pig blood, or D, a bull's eyeball? And by the way, these are all real ingredients from drinks.
Yep.
I feel like Yeah, I feel like this question's come up in a previous quiz before, but I don't remember what the.
It
what the
may
answer was.
have.
Can
It
I
may
ask
have.
pig blood straight up?
We got one. We got 3 for pig blood. We got 1 for venom. Richard Hell Hell says bull's eyeball. Zillich
Beak's
says
going with poop.
Jacob is saying, "Hey, golly, I got everybody's writing tonight." Sam, who's got the? It looks like maybe pig blood has it. A B.
Pig blood's 3, right? Or C?
Yeah,
Okay, so
and you haven't
show me
given your
my-
opinion.
I haven't. I think it's probably pig blood myself. But I toured between that and poop.
All right, pig bloods have it. What is it? Tarantula venom.
Ah,
The Philippines
So
consists.
how's this supposed to work? Do I take a shot after I'm wrong or after I'm right?
No, because it's time, so we don't have time for that. The Philippines consists of how many islands? A 432, B 7,641, C 927, or D 5,031.
D.
Got one for D.
that's a lot of islands, man. But
It is.
yeah, I'll go with D.
Got one for C, 2 for D.
Yep. Capitan is recusing himself because he is Filipino.
3. So we got 3 for D. Andy got 2 for C, 4 for D. I think that's
Okay.
pretty much going to do it.
If you count me in squash, that's like 6 for D, I think.
Yeah.
A couple of B's in there.
Aaron
Village in
saying
there.
B, let's go big. Carrie says A. Let's see. So it looks like the D's have it. It is B.
Shit.
Yep. It takes 90.
Each of
It
them.
takes 90 days for a drop of water to travel this river from beginning to end. A, Yellow River, B, Amazon, C, Nile River, or D, Mississippi River.
I want to go with the Amazon.
We got 1 for B. We got 1 for D.
I'm gonna say Mississippi because the Amazon and the Nile are on a whole nother level of rivers when it comes to length.
2 for D, and 2 for Amazon, 1 for Nile, another one for Amazon. That's 3. Another one for, and another for Mississippi. What are they tied? Nile flows.
I think there's 3 for Nile and Chad.
That's A. And we had some Mississippi votes too.
I don't know that much about the Yellow River. That's the one. That's the one in China, right? The long one.
Lewis saying
Right. It's a very slow, silty river, so it would take longer, in my opinion. Like I said, it's fairly long too.
let's see who's got the most though.
I don't know. Like you guys usually aren't this fast, man. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah, I got D, B, A. I mean, good grief. C.
Yeah.
B, B, C. Oh no.
Mississippi and Sasquatch. You said Mississippi, correct?
I
Too?
said Mississippi. It's one of the shorter of that group.
And Amazon. B. Dude, I'm not sure. I don't know who's got it.
Yeah.
Just pick one. We're running out of time, bro.
What do you say, Sam?
I went with Amazon.
Because it's definitely between Amazon and Mississippi.
Yeah. No, I went with Amazon. I'd say I'm kind of. This is a good question, man. I don't know. Yeah, they're saying that Amazon moves really fast too, so maybe I'll switch over to Mississippi. John Westchester's in chat with Mississippi.
Let's check. It is the Mississippi.
How do you track something like that?
I don't know. How long can a wood frog hold its pee? A, 3 months. B, 6 months. C, 6 weeks. Or D, 12 days.
Who'd want to know? First of all,
Wood
You
frog. Wood frog. I'll say
It's got
12
wood.
days. So do I, but we're not talking about that right now.
so I got 8 months for Mandy Pickle, Aaron Laura for 6 weeks, Suka and Cavatano both for 12 days. So
6
Zillage,
So 12 days has it so far.
I
And
think
then we
6
got,
weeks.
got another one for 6 weeks. So that adds you. So that's 3 for 6 weeks.
4. Richard's got 6 weeks also.
Lewis saying 8 months. Beak is saying 12 days. Bush is saying 3 months. Looks like I want to say 6 weeks have it. Sasquatch, which one did you want? Which one do you
I
pick?
think I said 12 days, didn't I?
12.
Yeah.
12. So that brings it 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many said 6 weeks, Sam?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I think I see 3 in chat here.
Okay. So it looks like the 12 days have it then, I guess. Oh, Bush.
I might have missed something.
Bush is saying 6 weeks. He thinks 6 weeks has it.
Yeah.
All right, let's check.
Well,
6 weeks. Well,
Hey, Queen Bird.
what?
I'll say hey to somebody in chat. She don't come around much.
All righty. Well, Sam, what do you say?
Hit me.
Oh, there's another one. 6 weeks. 6 weeks have
Yeah,
it.
let's just go with the 6 weeks.
It's 8 months.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's the wood frog. That's right.
Like,
McDonald's once made this: candied lettuce, licorice tomatoes, gum flavored broccoli, or Kool-Aid flavored fries.
I'm gonna say perp drink fries.
yeah, I feel like that was like a Grimace thing.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
I have a vague memory of
3 for
purple
D.
fries, man.
4 for D. 1 for yuck. 1 for the candied lettuce. 5 for D.
It's,
Yeah, I think that's a,
yeah.
6 for
Kool-Aid
D. Yeah,
fries,
looks like
I think.
everybody's choosing. Yep, Kool-Aid. Everybody's saying D. Okay, let's check. It is gum flavored broccoli.
Oh God! Like
What were the
that's
purple
not even a
fries?
good flavor for
I
broccoli.
remember
All right.
purple fries. That had to be a Grimace hand.
Hold on. Next one. High pressures of the Earth's mantle was mimicked on this item in a lab. Oxygen is stripped from it and leaves a diamond. A, nuts. B, chocolate. C, beef. Or D, peanut butter.
I'm gonna go.
Well,
With
you know
beef.
I like nuts, right?
You like pickle juice too,
I'll take the nuts, thank you.
with pickle juice on it, right? Sprinkled on it.
Oh,
So
well,
Carrie
juice.
says nuts. We got 2 for nuts. 3 for nuts.
As an
Everybody loves nuts.
observation, the only reason they call it nut milk is because they don't have the balls to say nut juice.
Zillish, Kimberly, they're saying D. Another one for nuts. The nuts are ahead. Nuts,
Yes.
the nuts are
It's
ahead.
a lot of nuts.
Nut butter, carbon. I say nuts.
They're all
Okay.
carbon.
They're all carbon.
They're,
Suka said
When
chocolate.
they covered the part about high pressures of the Earth's mantle was mimicked, that turned it into carbon.
Yeah. Okay. So the nuts have it. Let's check. It is peanut butter.
huh?
How many dimples are there in a golf ball? A, 205, B, 130, C, 336, or D, 415?
415.
I think I remember somebody saying it was like 336, like years ago. I can't remember who would have said that, but
Andy's saying 336. Richard Hell is saying 130. Lewis saying 336. 4, we got another person saying 336. 5 for 336. Aaron
yeah,
says D.
I think it's an even number, and it's
Beacon saying 130.
definitely more than 130.
Zuka saying 336. At this point, I don't even need you to. So it looks like the chat has it, unless you guys want to go ahead and give me your votes.
No, I go for it.
Go for
Which
it.
one?
415.
I went with 336. Yeah.
336 have it, and
336
336 has it, and 336 is correct.
Woo!
Okay. A cubic inch of this can bear the weight of 5 standard pickup trucks. A, elephant bone. B, pencils. C, soap. Or D, human bone.
Huh. Pencils, probably.
Human bone.
1 for pencils, 1 for human. So we got 1 for B, 1 for D. 2 for D, 3 for D. 1 for elephant. 4 for human. Who says pencils? Aaron says D. At this point,
Do me,
the
Lou.
D's are about to take it. Kimberly is saying elephant bones. I haven't gotten much right tonight, but I'll say pencils. It's another one for pencils. Jacob says D. Sam?
Oh, I went with pencils.
That's right.
Compressed.
That's right. And okay. So looks like the D's have it at this point. So D is the choice, and D is correct. Yeah. B. Being here unprotected will eventually cause your body to expand, mutate, and develop cancer. Is it A, space, B, the Somali coast, 3, Mailusu, Kyrgyzstan, or D, Chernobyl?
Space.
The final frontier.
I have to say space because the expanding part is kind of indicative of the lack of pressure. As far as mutating, if you just spend enough time up there, you catch cosmic rays and shit.
We got 3 for space. I got 2
4 for Chernobyl.
Yeah. 4 for Chernobyl.
Your mom's bedroom wins, by the way. You get the participation trophy, so congratulations. You can do whatever the hell you want with it, and it's worthless.
I'm guessing John is going for space. Space, changing answer, space.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody's picking space now, dang near. Richard Hell is D. Boosh is picking D, but the spaces have it. Sam, you said space is correct, right?
I did.
And Sasquatch, what's your choice?
I chose space too. It's that lack of pressure.
Let's check. Let's check because we run out of time. Boom, space. Bruce Willis starred in the movie Die Hard, but he wasn't the studio's first choice. There was another person offered the job before him. Was it A, Jack Nicholson? Hold on, let me finish. Jack Nicholson, B, Paul Newman, C, Frank Sinatra, or D, Clint Eastwood? Got one for Eastwood. I'm guessing Kimberly is Kimberly saying Frank Sinatra, or is that from the previous vote?
I don't know. Let us know, Kimberly.
Jack Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's taking it. C-E. D, yeah, Clint's taking it. Got one for Jack Nicholson.
2 for Jack Nicholson.
2 for Jack Nicholson. Another one for Clint. It was 1989. It wasn't Frank. Previous, okay. Clint. All right. What are you guys saying?
I think it was Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
Jack was about the right age. Clint Eastwood was a little older.
Yeah,
Clint Eastwood. Well, Clint, yeah. So let's see. Nope, Frank Sinatra. and he was in his
Seriously?
70s. And he was in his 70s. And
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
and he was in his 70s when they offered it to him. What inspired Shakespeare to write poetry? The Spanish Armada losing to England, a rebirth of national pride in England, Pope Pius' excommunication of England's Queen Elizabeth, or the bubonic plague hitting London?
So we're not counting the chick that turned him down.
No, come on, we got 8 minutes.
Bubonic plague.
That's
Yeah,
two
probably
for D.
because they would have stayed indoors and had nothing to do. So bubonic plague sounds about right.
3, and then Andy says 3 for D. Andy says C. That's 2 for C. Jacob is saying D. Lewis saying B. Zillers is saying A. The D's have it so far. Bush is saying B. Can't believe saying D. So we let's go with the let's go with the D. D is correct. This time is displayed in most advertisements like newspapers. 440, 111, 555, or 1010.
555.
Sasquatch.
111.
Aaron Laura says D. You guys are split. All it needs is another D. A third D. If I get one more D, I'm going for it. And so far, I made this quiz, Bush. Andy says D. Let's go with it. It is correct. This name was specifically created for a book. Jay, The Great Gatsby, Wendy, Peter Pan, Sam, The Maltese Falcon, or Molly, Ulysses.
Wendy.
Got one
I
for
find
Wendy.
your lack of happy thoughts disturbing.
Sam?
Sure, we'll go with that. I have no idea. I'm not even sure what the
Okay.
question means.
This name was specifically created for a book. This name did not exist. The name was created for a character in a book. It did not exist prior to the book.
Yeah, it's either Wendy or Molly, so I'll go with Wendy.
Well, everybody's saying B, so it is Molly. Most collect calls are made on this day. A, Father's Day, B, Memorial Day, C, Easter, or D, Christmas.
Father's Day.
One for Father's Day.
Christmas. No. You got to think about the people in prison. Christmas.
That's true.
Yeah, that's right. None of them have fathers, so
That's 2 for Christmas.
Here
Lou
comes
says
Christmas, yeah.
D. You going with Christmas too? Everybody said Christmas. Okay, let's check. No, Father's Day.
Oh, it's right the fucking first time.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Where does the average person spend a total 6 months of their life sitting? A, at a red light, B, on a toilet, C, at the dinner table, or D, in a movie theater?
I figure red lights, I'll spend way longer at a red light.
Okay. Got one for a red light?
I'll stay on a toilet. Nah, I'll spend way too much time at red lights for it to just be 6 months over the course of my life. There's
Man,
no
everybody said the toilet. Bush just said a red light. Toilet. Everybody said toilet. Well, Andy said red light. Lewis said red light. Sasquatch, you said red light as well, right?
I said toilet.
Okay, you're saying toilet. Aaron is saying dinner table. Zillage is saying movie theater. Sam? Hello? Sam?
We lost Sam.
We lost him.
Sam has returned to the great beyond to gather another stack of
Internet.
terror.
Hold on with the jokes. We got 4 minutes left. So I'm gonna go with the toilet. Nope, red light. This state has the only city that does not have a McDonald's? Is it A, Massachusetts, B, Tennessee, C, Vermont, or D, New Mexico?
I gotta say New Mexico, man. I got to. There ain't but 3 people there, and 2 of them are fake.
That's 2 for New Mexico. uh, Capitino says Vermont. Aaron says Vermont. Richard says Vermont. John says Vermont. Lou says Vermont. So we'll go with Vermont. Let's see. Yep, another one. They are correct. What do people choke to death on every year? A, grapes. B, a quarter. C, hot dogs. Or D, a pin.
All of the above, man. But grapes are hands down the most dangerous food humans consume.
True. But is it the one people choke to death on? So grapes is your choice. Beak is saying it got grapes, hot dogs, a quarter. I got a pin. Looks like most people are picking grapes. So we'll go with what you guys said, grapes. It is a pin.
I kind of feel like some of these questions could be asked slightly better, but I'm not judging.
Well, no, they're meant to confuse you. I asked them what I try to make it so that Kohai doesn't catch on so fast. Because when I used to ask straight on questions, she guessed it right away. But no, they're meant to be I write them a certain way for a reason. According to John Hopkins research team, this is one of the top 3 causes of death in America. A, medical errors, B, car accidents, C, flights, or D, speeding. What say you, Sasquatch? Got one for
Medical errors.
That's 3 for medical errors. Everybody's going with it. Okay, let's see. Yep. This director sold his movie script for $1. Orson Welles for the 12th Night, Stanley Kubrick for 2001: A Space Odyssey, Spike Lee for She's Gotta Have It, or James Cameron for The Terminator. What do you think, Sasquatch?
Oh, wow. Spike Lee, She's Gotta Have It.
So 1 for B, 1 for C, and 1 for Terminator. I got 1 for A. Literally, somebody's picked. Oh, okay. A. All right. Well, people are picking Orson. Let's see. Nope, James Cameron. And just so you know, Spike Lee, She's Gotta Have It. He crowdfunded that. He's the first person to do Kickstarter. Didn't know that, did you, Sasquatch?
Oh, were we carrying? I'm sorry. I got my bad.
Well, if Spike heard you say that, yeah, okay. Now, last question. King George declared this gunpowder ingredient to be property of the crown. A, bananas. B, charcoal. C, pigeon poop. Or D, saltpeter. John saying saltpeter. I say saltpeter.
Ooh, I'm gonna say pigeon poop because there wasn't access to a whole lot of saltpeter in England. They don't got volcanoes and stuff, man. They got a couple of hot springs, and that's about it.
Everybody's saying D. D is D. Carrie, you voted twice already. I mean, you voted once already. Saltpeter. C, poop. See if I can. He says valid point. So far, the D's have it. Okay, C's are catching up. You're going with saltpeter. D. Mm-hmm. Okay. It will go saltpeter. It is pigeon poop.
Don't you get saltpeter from guano?
Well, for some reason, King George decided that pigeon poop was more valuable.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Now, let's see.
Now, what form of torture have you provided for us?
Well, we're going to go into the last part of tonight. It's about the boogeyman. Now, this one isn't timed. However, guys, do you remember the quiz that I did with the PowerPoint? Well, this ain't it.
Yeah.
This ain't it. However, however, and Sasquatch, I want to ask you this, especially with you,
That's
you being
harsh.
in, we all right, the short bus. But I wanted to ask you this because the three of us, we live in pretty diverse areas. But I'm sure with you, you know, your father, all three of us are fathers. But you two, your kids are older than mine, and so
Richard.
I'm sure you two have had the classic boogeyman run in well before me. You know, my kids are so far aren't showing any fear of that. Although I think my son kind of around 1 years old, all of a sudden we couldn't turn the lights off. He turned the light off in his room, and literally one day he was fine with it, and then the next day I don't know what that kid saw, but we were checking the child monitor, and that boy was howling. And from that day forward, ever since then, he's 4 now. He will not sleep with the light off. He could be asleep. You can carry him to his room, and as soon as you turn that light off, that click, he's up. Boom, scream, and he'll get up, turn the light. He'll get up, turn the light on, and get back into bed. He will
Two
not sleep with
things.
that light off.
One, reinstall a paddle light, something that doesn't make a click. Two, when my daughter decided she was scared of the dark, she woke me up in the middle of the night one night, and she's like, "Father, I'm scared of monsters." And I told her, "There's no point in being scared of monsters because I ate them all. And if you find one, let me know because I'd like to eat it." And she said, "Okay," and went back to bed. And to this day, if someone mentions a monster, she'll say under her breath, "My father ate all the monsters."
What about you, Sam?
I never really had a problem with a specific kind of boogeyman thing. I just like when I was real young, my bedroom was in a basement, right, with a real long dark staircase, and the light switch for that room, which was at the bottom of the stairs, was on the other side of that room. So yeah, like any 8, 9 year old, in the dark. I mean, you have to flip that switch off and then get to the other side of the room in the dark and then go up the stairs, right? Or if you're coming down the stairs, you got to get across the room in the dark to find the switch. So yeah, I had a few problems with that when I was younger, but the older I got and the more nocturnal I became, um, the whole fear of the dark thing just kind of evaporated because, as it turns out, I am one of the scary things in the night. So
Yeah, I kind of came across the same thing growing up. I lived out in the middle of this swamp in the middle of nowhere, and I just went camping all the time. Dude, Christopher Robin didn't have nothing on me. Is all I'm saying. Like, I had 220 acres of untouched swamp, and I camped and fished, and so darkness was never really scary to me. But when I was really, really little, my sister told me about her imaginary friend named Ikibaki. And Ikibaki became my boogeyman. She would threaten me, telling me Ikibaki would come get me.
yeah, the very first time I ever heard the Bad Austrian's name, I had no idea who it was. I think I was about 9 years old, maybe 8, and a kid in the neighborhood. I used to hang out at his house, and he had this beagle who was most of the time a good dog, but every once in a while, like all dogs, would just lose his shit and do something stupid. And so this kid who was a little younger than me would threaten his beagle with Hitler.
What?
Yeah, he'd be like, "Dude, if you don't shape up, I'm gonna sick Hitler on you."
It's
Now,
Hitler
keep
the
in
dog.
mind, we're little kids. We had no idea who Hitler really was or what kind of thing he was actually saying. We just knew that everybody said that guy was bad. So, the dog should shape up or ship out.
Yeah, I kind of had a similar situation, John. There was nothing more fearsome in that swamp than my father, hands down. He was the most dangerous creature out there.
When I think,
sorry, go ahead.
when I think about the boogeyman, it was always more of a feeling. I don't know. I guess at some point when I was around 5, I'd say, yeah, about 4 or 5, around what the age my son is now, I preferred the light on. But even to this day, I cannot sleep if it's pitch black. I've got to have something on, you know. And that was always a point of contention between my wife and I, because she liked to light off everything off. And, and I wasn't used to that. I was used to sleeping with the TV on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Boosh, I'm not actually. That's the thing. I just wasn't raised up knowing about this stuff at that early of an age. It wasn't until later that I heard anything and all that. So I was totally unfamiliar with who Hitler was. We just had heard people, or rather, this other kid had heard people reference the name in a bad way. And so he figured, well, if it's a bad dude, I can threaten my dog with it, kind of thing. But yeah, no, I'm not Jewish. I don't have a Jewish bone in my body any more than I have a French one.
Bush said it was a joke. Now he said, "Come." He said he's using Biden's line. Come on, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Aaron, you shouldn't have told us that. Where's Suka at? Clip this.
Yeah.
Well, I had a sensitive spot for Freddy Krueger, mainly because I was hyperkinetic as a child, and so I didn't sleep like most people did. I would sleep maybe an hour or two a night, and since sleep was the one thing I couldn't control, I wasn't afraid of Michael Myers or Jason or any of the sleepaway camps. Freddy Krueger held a special place of horror in my heart because he would come at me in my dreams. That checks out.
Yeah.
You know what? The first time I saw Nightmare on Elm Street, I thought it was going to be Freddy too, but it was never Freddy. As far as being the boogeyman for me in my dream and sleeping, it was always Michael Myers. I don't know why.
Understand that, dude. Michael Myers come at me in my swamp. That sucker done got what he deserved. Let me tell you. I'll make you squeal like a pig, son.
You got your scatter gun and your banjo.
I never learned to play the banjo. I was always busy.
William Shatner sure does have a pretty mouth.
He'd be pointing at the piano player. He'd be like, "But I've got a piano player. Play the song." Biden should scare kids. Oh, by the way, did you two hear about the Secret Service threatening some company? They made like a soda and they put Biden on the
gamer. It was game. It was supplement. Game sup. Game supplement stuff. Yeah, that's
Queen
wild.
Bird brings up something here. Candyman was a thing for 3rd and 4th grade. Yeah, I do remember that. 4th, 5th, 6th grade. Bloody Mary was a big kind of urban legend for my class, for my age group at the time. But I don't know. I never really feared the story so much. We did use that to make this kid piss his pants at a camp out once, but
Candyman is real, bro. Hear me out. In Chicago, Detroit, I believe it's Detroit, might be Chicago. There's a place called Cabrini Green. And in Cabrini Green, there was this particularly vicious drug dealer that they called the Candyman. And this guy's homies found out that when they built this particular set of tenements, they did not close the crawl spaces behind the medicine cabinets. There was supposed to be a sheet of like wire mesh
heard this
that
story,
wasn't
yeah.
installed. And his homies, his little minions of drug dealing runner boys, would go in and hard R this woman in one of the upstairs places. And she called the cops a dozen times saying that there were men coming through her medicine cabinet mirror and they were doing horrible things to her. And finally, she actually pitched enough of a fit that she got a cop over there at one point in time. And one of the cops walking through the apartment just reached up and tugged on it, and the damn thing opened on a set of hinges, and the opposing apartment's medicine cabinet also opened on hinges. And it turned out that entire tenement building was accessible from apartment to apartment through hinged medicine cabinets in all of the apartments.
Yeah, I've heard about that story. What's funny about that is that Cabrini Green is in fact the setting of the short story "The Forbidden" by Clive Barker, which is what the movie Candyman is based on.
Well, the other funny thing too is that Sasquatch, what you just mentioned, was in a quiz that we did a few months ago. I actually put that in a quiz.
Yeah. Okay.
Great minds think alike. But no, that was a trippy story. And yeah, think about it. The cops probably showed up there with the intent on taking that lady to a mental hospital.
Actually, they did some interviews a few years later after she had died, and the story kind of got out that the cops hadn't done anything to help the lady. And it was actually this one particular cop that kept going back when she'd call, because for whatever reason, he was able to walk through the place and not upset anybody that was downstairs dealing drugs or whatever. And on this particular, she called and pitched a fit and screamed and yelled and stuff. And he was like, "Look, I'm fixing to get off. I'll go by and check it out." And she said, "They come through the mirror." And he's like, "Show me." And she went and pointed at the mirror, and he reached out and tugged it, and it opened in the normal fashion of a medicine cabinet. She said, "No, you have to open it the other way, the way they do." And you had to push the mirror all the way in. And then, you know how the recessed click open happens, you know what I mean? You had to push it for it to pop out so you could open it. Yeah. And the other guys had put in a couple of screws so they could pull it and pop it open and then pull it back and lock it. Madness.
That's crazy. All right. So in the vein of this, I've got some. Let me know if you guys cannot hear this. If I can get it to play. Can you hear that? All right.
Yep. Is that John Cena?
Yep. So
you're like a baby bird.
Well, that was just an intro, but that guy actually, I thought it was like thick spaghetti he would use, but I saw an interview, those were live worms. And apparently he wanted to use bugs like big cockroaches and stuff, and they wouldn't let him. So he had to settle for the worms.
You?
Why did you do that, Larry?
Yeah, you're second on my list of people to hate now.
Hey, it wasn't. I'm just reporting.
Lie to me. Don't lie to me.
Now, here's the next one. Now, we talked about Michael Myers. He is my favorite boogeyman. I think it's the mask. It's probably him and William Shatner. I just can't look at William Shatner without seeing Michael Myers because of that damn mask. Anyway, let's have some laughs.
That one we don't hear.
Yeah, it's not up. You can't hear that?
I hear something on the edge of hearing, but yeah, it's real low. Apparently, I can hear kind of the screams, but it's on the edge of hearing.
Oh, well, that sucks. Well, let's try the next one then. Pumpkinhead. Let's see if you guys can try to hear this one.
Negative.
Huh. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, it sounds a little off, but yeah, I don't know. Pumpkinhead's a demon. Why is he on here?
That
Welcome
sucks.
to Abyssal Musings, where the technical issues are part of the show.
They are, in
Exactly.
fact. We're very proud of our technical prowess.
And it sucks too, because this was a good one, because the screams that some of these people did, it was amazing. They were amazing. I'm wondering why. You know what? My sound wasn't all the way up. That's what it was. That's what it was.
You shall be punished.
Well, folks, well, actually, I can always do it the old-fashioned way and just go back to the actual videos themselves. I can do
Careful.
that.
Careful now. Good ideas not to be had around here, brother.
Yeah. And for the record, Zillage, I'm number one. And Carrie, it's me. I pulled some shit on a stream not that long ago that put me over the top.
I don't actually have hate for Carrie, you see. I saved the hate I have for Carrie in a little jar next to my bed. Every night I add just a little bit more to it. Sam hate flows freely because of he's exposed me to.
Yeah. If y'all are curious about that, we did a show a little while back on Screaming Into the Void on this very channel. There's a whole section in the middle that Sasquatch wasn't very happy talking about involving brain organoids and cybernetic chips, and
I still don't appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a real thing, and it's very awful, and I do think we need to be talking about it, but I understand why you're pissed.
I just don't like you.
I get it. That's all I'm saying. I get it. I totally have it coming. I totally understand. If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right. So now it's out, and I want to throw it at Sam. Now what I do?
Yeah, I'll just collect it and put it in a jar of my own.
Save it next to your bed for me.
Yep. We can use it as lube later.
What?
See, he turns off his mic because he's having a giggle fit back there that he can't control.
Yeah, I had to go somewhere else for a minute, but it's okay, folks. Sasquatch is back, and I didn't even break the show this week.
Right?
There. Here we go. And the funny thing is, they're not even. They're in Ireland, dude.
Yeah.
My man.
Are they in?
Safe.
Are they in Ireland? Because he was swearing in Spanish.
Yeah, but this YouTuber is in Ireland. This guy's in Ireland.
Yeah. So, hijo de puta.
Now, for those of you who don't know, now Pumpkinhead is not as popular as some of the others, but he's a bit of a boogeyman.
Well, I'm getting a better look at the costume, and that's like he's got a literal pumpkin on his head, and he's covered in leaves.
Yeah,
that's a different thing altogether than Pumpkinhead. But yeah,
well, I call him Pumpkinhead because he's got a pumpkin head. He's got a pumpkin head, which is why I call him Pumpkinhead.
He's not.
That's what you get for dyeing your hair magenta.
Cheers. Cheers.
I'm willing to bet she peed her pants.
I bloody pissed myself. There's a great bloody thing cut out of the corner. It's not right, I'm telling you.
Oh my god!
That's a good scream.
Oh, that isn't even the best one. There was a group of teenage girls. He did the Bushman. He was a bush. Oh man, this little girl, her little spaghetti legs was dancing. It was funny.
Happy Halloween.
I once had a police charge filled out of me for assaulting someone at a house.
Hey, no.
Yeah, can you imagine somebody trying to trip him? Phew.
No, I mean, dude jumped out as Freddy Krueger, and I Kingly United his ass into a different little display area over there. Like he landed on the hood of Christine right when it lit up. They called the cops, and we had to talk about it. He was like, "Well, I did touch him." That was it. He touched me, and when he touched me, my hacky sack instinct kicked in, and I launched that dude in the middle of next month.
Oh well, that's what he gets. There's a YouTube video on that too. It says, "Don't ever try to scare a black guy," and it was a black student, and this guy jumped out. He had a high mask on, and the guy turned and just knocked him out, knocked him right back down into the trash can.
They're just like, nope, nope, nope. You can't do this in America.
No.
Oh no, you got to get a permit to have fun.
Oh no. The problem is
You get shot.
you get shot real quick, scared folks.
Sam, isn't this one of your exes?
Why would you? No.
You sure? Because then isn't she a redhead? Because you only date redheads.
That's first of all, that's factually untrue. I don't even
That's
date
me.
exclusively white chicks.
I'm married a brunette, but I only date redheads.
Sam married a black. Sam dated a black woman who dyed her hair red.
Sorry, Simon.
No, I think you're getting them mixed up.
Oh my god.
No, it was you.
Come on, he's not gonna eat you.
Hey, you sure about that? This is Samuel we're talking about. And he got tentacles too, girl.
I think I just looked trouble.
She peed herself a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, to be fair, I can see why they're. Yeah, I can see why they're jumpy as shit in Ireland, but don't actually react to anything like with violence, because you never know if it's a car bomb.
Well,
unfortunately,
was that too dark?
No, I was just thinking about how she peed herself.
Oh, I love you, Bushman.
Happy Halloween.
And she got to stop and get her a hug.
You know what they say about guys with long legs, right?
They're on stilts.
Yeah.
Like who sees a vertical pile of leaves like that and doesn't think something's off?
Several people in this video.
They think it's a decoration is the thing. It's just a stuffy guy standing up there, but then it moves. And I might take his kneecap out if stuffy guy moves near me.
Andy's, you're probably right.
That's only true if you assume that redheads have souls. We all know gingers don't have souls. They're competition, not victims.
Happy Halloween.
They're Sasquatch victims, definitely.
Happy Halloween.
Homie got his hand
On YouTube?
He got his hand on his knife.
Now, I don't know if that's the police or just security. I want to say it's just security.
You didn't see him.
I mean,
Yeah, Garda.
I guess this depends on what part of Ireland, because I think Northern Ireland is still part of Britain, and doesn't that mean that they're subject to the whole like police carry batons thing?
Probably.
They're all under
Like-
the UK, so I mean, that's
I-
pretty standard across most of it.
Yeah. So yeah, now that you're probably not going to get shot, but they don't mean they ain't going to billy club the shit out of your knee.
They might.
Carrie, Carrie, why are you putting this in the chat?
Tells the
Why are
rest
you
of the-
putting it on the
You
screen?
haven't seen my chat, have you? Don't look at my chat, Larry. It's going to offend you.
No, I'm just laughing at it.
Not
Let's
nice
see
was
who's
nice.
the best.
And she goes, and she's like, "Oh, he's tall."
Happy Halloween.
Ah, gosh, yeah, we fucking saw you, man.
He's like, "Yeah." Boy, get hit by that car. They look like they just came from a Kiss concert.
Hi, man.
The relief.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh,
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Easy.
Yeah, one thing I have been wondering though, in a lot of his videos, I see a lot of people speaking Spanish. This isn't just isolated. This isn't just one video. There's a lot of people that be speaking Spanish over there. So I don't know
mean,
if they're on vacation or what.
Probably Spain's not that far off. It's probably just tourists on vacation or holiday or whatever. I mean, aside
you.
from all the
Happy Halloween.
churches and cars blowing up, it's pretty nice in Ireland.
Oh my god! Take it out! Oh, I love it! I love your custom!
Look at him though.
Now we are coaching.
Una mierda.
Joder, qué susto, ¿no?
You can't trick the Irish. You can't.
Why?
We're too smart. We're too smart.
They're too smart.
Smart. They're too smart.
That chick with the dark hair just went past just before she said that you can't trick the Irish. I believe she said something shit in Spanish.
You do look great.
Dendrophilia is a German fetish, Andy.
Oh my god, there it is. You already want to shoot yourself again. Please just don't. My god.
You know, a lot of people must not like vacationing in Spain.
Oh, Mario.
Oh, it looked like the Irish got tricked that time. That's hilarious.
Happy Halloween.
Oh, that's messed up.
That's always a risk of doing something like this in public.
Yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Help! Help!
You know, like you do that to the wrong motherfucker with a pacemaker, and you just killed somebody.
This is how I feel.
You're right.
Yeah.
You know,
And
so
that-
I mean, I get the fun of it and all that stuff, but yeah, it's one of those things like you really got to measure how scary you are out because, yeah, you do something scary enough, yeah, people will drop dead, especially people with weak hearts. You know, if they got a heart murmur, they got a pacemaker, they got, you know, any number of problems like that. If it's not that hard to seriously damage somebody without ever touching them.
Yeah, and you are going to jail. There's no.
I
if,
have
there's-
I have made people laugh so hard that they had cardiac events.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize it because I mean I wasn't there with that guy. I was with some other people at the same coffee house, and I was just joking, man. I was just telling jokes, and he was over there kind of overhearing our conversation, and he started laughing, and I kept going, and he started laughing harder and harder, and then directly he just kind of flopped over, and then the ER showed up, cops showed up. I was like, joke weapons? I don't get it. No. You can't charge me with shit. Absolutely not. I never touched that man. Thought with a deadly joke. I don't buy it.
But yeah, Village, it is possible to be so afraid that you just die, and that can happen to healthy people too. It's just a whole lot less likely to.
Yeah. But the right scare at the right time or the wrong time, depending on how you look at it, and you can go just as fast.
You can also cause people to go catatonic through a rough scare, create literal PTSD in people. I've done it. You got to terrify the shit out of them.
Yeah. You know, that whole thing about people's hair turning white from fear, that actually does happen. That's a stress induced reaction.
Yep.
It's just, again, it's not as common as it is in the movies, but it can and does happen.
Yeah. My brother's first wife, like I said, I lived out in the middle of the swamp. They were staying out at my pop's a couple of days, and she come home from work one afternoon, and I had this big bush right next to the shed where I sat and smoked weed at night so nobody could see me, right? I wasn't exactly hiding. I just didn't want to be obvious. So she pulls up right next to that bush and gets out of her car, like trying to squeeze between the door and it because the bush was so close. And she shut the door, and I was like, hi. And she straight pissed her pants because there was a 6 foot tall, 200-pound man standing right in front of her, and she had not noticed. She all but ran into my chest. I wasn't trying to scare her at all. But to this day, this woman curses my name. Says I'm the scariest thing she has ever seen, and it's because I'm a really big guy, but I don't move like a big guy. I move real slow and methodically, and I don't make a lot of noise. So,
yeah, I get that quite a bit too, because you don't make a lot of noise because you're a big guy too. I mean, that's like one of those things. Like growing up when you're lanky and you're, you know, all your parts are disproportionate and don't work right because you know you're still trying to figure out how your own body and all that shit. You're going through puberty and growth spurts and all that shit. You tend to like, you know, as taller folks and particularly bigger guys, like, you know, guys with barrel chests and stuff like that, we tend to focus a lot on learning to control our emotions and how much noise we make and how big we appear in general, just because being a big guy in a crowd, right, especially a crowd with people you don't know, can make people uncomfortable, and you don't want to be the guy doing that. So you do what you can to minimize the perceived threat. And so one of those things is just trying to appear smaller than you in fact are. The other side to that, though, is when I was a little kid, I loved scaring the shit out of my mom, so I got real good at moving without making any sound, which I can still do now. And I'm very tall.
this skill I have came from stalking when I was younger and hunting, the ability to walk across a whole bunch of like crispy leaves and for you not to recognize that as footsteps. It's not that you don't make noise. It's that when you hear it, you don't say, hey, that's a footstep coming this way. You think it's anything else.
Hey, Mara. Snark. No. I'm not going to sleep. We're in the middle of a show. Yeah.
Well,
but
actually,
it is
we're actually done. I'm done with all the presentations. So
yeah, but I wasn't going to tell her that because she's telling me to go to bed.
In that
Are you
case, I
saying-
got a little something over here.
oh
So,
yes, please do.
Yeah, it'll be a great little walkout on us. Because I mean, you know, everybody on Earth is trying to find that special someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just hope this ain't yours.
Windows. Okay, she has something in her hand to bust windows with. She just bust my window. Terry just keyed this out of my car. I actually just got painted over because she sideswiped it.
Yeah, I remember this.
Terry just did that. Now she is.
Did you notice the fact that he barely made it out from between those vehicles?
Yep.
He had to
I
like
remember
tuck
that.
and roll to get out, bro. This woman should have gone to jail for life. Attempted murder, man.
Yeah, and what people don't know is that when she showed up there to do that to him, she had just gotten a restraining order against him. She went to the courthouse and lied on him. He had just been served with a restraining order a day or two prior. So she got the restraining order, and then she goes over there to attack him, and she busted his window, his house window.
Like
Tried to
she
break
worked
in.
him over.
Time. Yeah, she did that the last time.
Andy, I don't have to say that.
Look, there's a whole country between me and her. Bring it.
This is where she was beating me with my piece.
She just hit homie with a car.
Yeah, she did.
He didn't
I
even
remember
mention
that.
it.
I mean, yeah, that's
Nothing ever was
objectively
hard.
worse than anything I ever been hit with. The worst I ever got was
No.
had knives and toasters thrown at me, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, I dated a redhead at one point in time who had a really quick pitch. Like you wouldn't even get whatever it was that triggered her out of your mouth before that shit hit you.
Yeah.
Biggest miss for the Atlanta Braves ever. Fucking first round draft pick. Yeah, he just got hit by the car and he's still laying on the ground.
You should change your
But she locked her car.
Why? I thought that you wanted to break up. I thought that you wanted to kill yourself. I thought that you wanted to kill me. I thought that you.
Really quick.
All right, that was the one I wanted to show you.
Yeah. Be careful out there, folks. You're looking for
Looking
looking
for
for
love in
somebody
all
to
the
marry.
wrong
'Cause
places.
some of them bitches be crazy.
Could be raining
And
Chihuahua bats.
Right? Well, they never tell you that they're crazy when you start out. They never. They don't
No,
give you any
that's not
indication.
true. You know good damn well she's nuts before you ever asked her out. You know this, man. Don't lie to me.
I don't
been
know.
there myself.
Some of them are really good at
Do
hiding.
I have to break out the hot crazy matrix again?
Yes.
All right.
He's gonna do it. No. I like a nice middle, on the hot crazy matrix. I'm not unreasonable. I don't think that
I like
should be
chasing
all the way
Tiff.
up the scale.
Sam, you like them. You like them like 1 point below homicidal.
No, that's absolutely not true. because somebody who won't just outright kill you will beat you until you're in the hospital. That's much worse.
Universal hot.
That's for me. I'm a professional. I'll bring
I
receipts.
think if Luke Castley is still in the chat, this got brought up a couple of weeks ago, and she asked if this was in fact a real thing. Yes, it is.
Yes. This is probably the most accurate chart I've ever seen, as far as just with no outside information, seeing some chick on TV and going, she's nuts.
Crazy matrix. It's everything a young man needs to know about women. I've developed this on my own over 46 years of living on the earth. So this is how it works. You have your crazy axis and your hot axis. Hot is, as usual, measured from 0 to 10. We're all familiar with that. Crazy is measured from 4 to 10 because, of course, there's no such thing as a woman who's not at least 4 crazy. So you got 4, 10. This is your hot crazy line right here. Very important that you keep in mind where the hot crazy line is. As a rule, this is your no-go zone. We do not hang around and date and marry women who are not, at least in our mind, a 5. So this is your no-go zone. You don't go here. We just rule this out. Life is better this way. That's the way it is. All right. Above a 5 and to about an 8 and below the crazy line, this is your fun zone. You can hang out here and meet these girls and spend time with them. That's your fun zone. But keep in mind, when you're in the fun zone, you want to move out of the fun zone to a more permanent location. Okay. So that's the fun zone above a 5, hot, below an 8, hot, and below the crazy line. This means these are most of the time not crazy. Okay. Above the danger zone, above the crazy line, we have the danger zone. This is your redheads, your strippers, anyone named Tiffany. This is hairdressers. This is where your car gets keyed. You get a bunny in the pot. Your tires get slashed, and you wind up in jail. Now we have some of the chart filled in. We got a couple more pieces to put in, but at this point, understand something. This is not a static environment. This is a situation where you have got to use this matrix over time to develop some reliable data. It's like a dope chart, okay? Because at any moment in time, any woman that you have previously located on this chart can vanish from that location and appear anywhere else on the chart. So what you have to do is over time, collect some data. And once you have a cluster of data points, you can begin to consider that reliable. Now, moving on, you have this zone here. This is below the crazy line, above an 8 hot, but still, about a 7 crazy. This is your date zone. You can stay in the date zone indefinitely. These are women that you introduce to your friends and your family. They're good looking and they're reasonably not crazy most of the time. Okay, so you can stay here indefinitely. Now, above an 8 hot and between about a 7 and a 5 crazy, this is your wife zone. Okay, when you meet this girl, you should consider a long-term relationship. This zone is not scaled to size. This is a representation and not an actual. This is not a pie chart showing you how many of these people are out there. This is simply a representation of what you're after. You want to be 5 to 7 crazy, above an 8 hot. That's your wife zone. Okay. Now, below a 5 crazy and above an 8 hot, this is your unicorn zone. These things don't exist.
Facts.
If you find a unicorn, please capture it safely, keep it alive. We'd like to study it and maybe look at how to replicate that. Okay. So I was explaining this to a guy one time, and he said, "Wait a minute. I met this girl, and she's like smoking hot. She's like at least a 9, and she's chill. She's totally cool. She's like not even a 3 crazy." I said, "You're telling me you've met a girl, she's a 9 hot, and she's like a 2 or a 3 crazy?" He said, "Yeah, man, I like her a lot." I said, "You should be careful. That's a dude. You're talking to a tranny." So you got to be careful, because down here below a 4 crazy and above an 8 hot, you're probably talking to a dude. That is the universal hot crazy matrix.
I love that.
It is great to be here, and
I've never seen that before.
Oh,
really?
there's a hot rich guy matrix too. It's money. It's hot. It's a sexy money versus,
You know what the funny thing about that is too, though, is that he's not wrong. The craziest girls that I ever met, I mean, they were 9s, like they were gorgeous, and the stuff that I saw them doing, like once I really got to know them, I was like, thank God I'm not with them, because they were just friends, and they were trying to pull me into craziness that they created, messing with another guy, and I was like, I'm not going over there and getting into it with some guy because you took a pickaxe to his front door.
I dated a chick that, honest to God, believed she knew what other people were thinking. She knew it. And it was the day I broke up with her. I'm not even joking. I'd been just letting this stuff run off, letting it roll off, like whatever. She's just delusional or whatever. Screw it. She's hot. I'll get over it. Finally, one day, I said it out loud. I was like, "You do realize you can't read my mind?" And she says, "I know exactly what you're thinking." And I snapped. I stood up, looked at her, and I said, "Well, I bet you didn't know about this part." I went and got in my truck and left without saying another word to her. I didn't see her again for 10 years. And it was at her wedding where she was marrying a friend of mine. And I brought him a pair of panties that was black in the shape of a rose and gave it to him.
Yeah, could you get these back to her? Oh, this has been a pretty good show, though.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed myself quite a bit, except for the bit where the internet kicked my ass out. But
it hates you.
Yeah, it does. It does hate me. It hates all of you too, apparently. Just
it doesn't like me.
It comes. I'm not. Yeah. My internet is not after you, or it's not after me. It's after all of you. I'm just in the way. We can just put it like that. But yeah, no, this is a good show. Had a lot of audience participation with the quiz. That's always fun to see. And thank you guys for playing along with us. It's always that sort of thing is always a lot more fun with audience participation, in my opinion. But yeah, no, it's been pretty good. Do you guys have anything else you want to cover before we do the plug thing and get on out of here?
No, I'm good.
Plug it, baby. Just don't do it like they did in the railgun.
Oh, yeah,
Madam Railgun.
There's an image. I'm gonna take that image to my grave. But anyway, Squatch, what do you have coming up? Where can people find you?
Let's see. You can find me on my channel, Caucasian Sasquatch, on YouTube. I'm the Diversity Cracker. Listen, you can catch me on the Blast Radius on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Lost with Ajot on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. And on Thursday, I either don't do a stream or do a Sasquatch Shills if I can find a guest. And then randomly, I do Saturday night streams when the hair strikes. So there's that. If you just haven't found enough of me somewhere. And I do a whole bunch of shorts. So frolic about in those and enjoy yourself. They're terrible.
Yeah, some of them are pretty fun. Lawrence, what do you have have coming up? Where can people find you?
You guys can find me late tomorrow in the chat as a moderator for the world famous Exile Lioness 2. Unfortunately, I am likely not going to be able to make the 100th episode tomorrow, Screaming Into the Void. I had a mandatory previous engagement. So I'm definitely bummed because I didn't realize that tomorrow was the 100th episode, and combine that with everything else that's going on. Yeah, it's just for 100 episodes. That's folks. I encourage you to tune in tomorrow because that's Screaming Into the Void has gone through its ups and downs, and but through it all, it's the flagship show, and it's still chugging along real strong.
Yeah, indeed. For my part, I will be here tomorrow because I have to be. But yeah, we've got the 100th episode of Screaming Into the Void tomorrow afternoon at 4-ish p.m. Mountain Time. Should be fun. We're gonna have some people on, and I don't know. We're not gonna get too serious with as far as content and topics and that kind of thing. I just really kind of want to celebrate the fact that we're good enough for syndication, baby. 100 episodes. That's awesome. If we were on cable TV anyway. But yeah, so we'll be doing that tomorrow night. And then you can also find me with Lawrence Knight over on Exiled Linus 2. So we'll also be there tomorrow night after Screaming Into the Void on Amira's channel. You can find me on Adam the Renaissance Nerd's channel on Monday for Mellow Mondays. This week might be a little iffy. There's some stuff happening IRL that I'm not actually sure I'm going to be in town or not. But if I am in town, you can find me on that show. So it's a whole thing. And then back here for Abyssal Musings next Friday. So yeah, should be good to go. Appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you once again, Sasquatch, for joining us on this episode. Always a pleasure, my man. And
yes, sir. Remember, it could be raining Chihuahua bats.
I somehow feel like that's worse than flaming cobras.
Rabies.
Yeah, it's like these horrible little rabid winged purse puppies.
Or spider wasps. I mean, it's up to you, dude. We can just do this all night. The horrors are unlimited.
So we're going to go ahead and get on out of here, folks. Everybody who's watching, everybody commenting in the chat and participated in the quiz, everybody out there who kept it to themselves and still enjoyed the show. Thank you all for being here, and we will catch you all next time. And it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras. Have a great freaking night, everybody. Bye.